up, everybody? Happy Friday. Yeah, I mean, the news has been out of control lately. And we can sit there and say, or not me, but somebody can sit there and say, I told you so all day long. But it it kind of goes into the whole category of, and it's not like I talked about before. These states are going to copycat each other, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Copycat. Um, if one state bans something, then the next state goes, "Oh, well, we better do something too," and then they ban it, and then the next one bans it, and before you know it, it's nationwide. And I'm hoping that that doesn't happen. Some of the governors of these states have chosen to not go along with the crowd and actually try to get more facts, which I hope. I got VG on the lens. I can try to clean that off. Is that better? I don't know. Oh, you're gonna see what it's all about, Cassie. Wait till you try it. Wait till you try the fatality. I'm vaping it right now. Actually, this is the M25. I do have the new tank. Hey, King Cobra. The new tank by QP design is called the GATA, GATA or GATA, whichever way you want to pronounce it. It's the first tank I've seen that actually has an interchangeable tank system that allows you to either do mouth to lung or direct lung. Um, it has a mouth to lung, which has basically a plastic tank that's all clear, which makes it look cool, but it's not good for the acidic juices or like menthol juices. Those will crack the crap out of that tank. So for that reason, it comes with another tank that actually holds more juice, and it's actually glass. So when you switch between the mouth to lung and the direct lung tank, just be aware if you buy the GATA. I'm not telling you, hey, everybody should run out and buy it because I don't have it yet. It'll be here Monday. I was like the first person to order one because before they even put it in the Facebook group, I was refreshing their web page, and as soon as it popped up, I went and bought one. So maybe I'll get a low serial number. I'll get lucky. I don't know. But then they posted on the page like an hour or two later. I'll probably get like some high ass serial number just because they don't pay attention. They just grab whatever. Who knows? But I'm hoping it's going to be a really great tank because there's a lot of tanks now that come out that are either mouth to lung or direct to lung. They don't really do both well. I'm hoping this is going to be the first tank that does both mouth to lung and direct to lung really good. I'm hoping just because QP design has not let me down yet. So we'll see what happens in the future. And I put on there, should you DIY? And we were talking about DIY last week, and the main reason I'm saying this now is because you may have no intentions to ever doing DIY, right? And you may not ever have to. Maybe your state completely ignores all these other states banning flavors or banning vaping altogether, and you're just, like, it's not going to happen here. That may be the case. But would it be so bad for you to at least know how to make your own juice if that ever happened? I would hate for somebody, I mean, it would kill me to know that somebody went back to smoking because vaping got banned in their state. And then they risk the chance of getting cancer or dying from smoking because the freaking government banned vaping in your state, which was actually making you healthy. I can't, it's blowing my mind. Hey, Dragon, nice to see you here. I can't imagine why. Well, I know why. Scuba's your DIY. Well, Jazzy, I plan on doing a show on DIY. I wasn't prepared tonight, but in future shows, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down DIY bit by bit by bit. If you're anxious to get into DIY, hey, e-liquid recipes has a absolutely gigantic list. So whatever flavor you're looking for, you could look for whatever. I want bubblegum flavor. You can type that in there and it'll search for all the bubblegum flavors recipes that they have for that site. And then you can go, hey, I like this one, I like that one, and then choose which one you decide to make. And believe it or not, it makes a big difference on which flavoring you get from which company. Like if you get vanilla custard from Capella, or if you get vanilla custard from somebody else, it's completely different. Trust me on that. So there's a big difference in it that there's a big difference in what the flavor tastes like from one company to the other one. So do your due diligence, find out which one people like more than the other. And if you do get some, try a smaller bottle of flavoring. If you something you enjoy, you can obviously buy bigger bottles of flavoring. Flavoring comes from 10 mils on up to like a gallon. If you need that much flavoring, you can get really big batches of flavoring. What's the best length for the coils on the 25? Ooh, Cassie, I think it's, man, you're putting me on the spot. I think I did 4 millimeter. If you're using a coily tool, what you want to do on the M25 is after you wrap your coils, you want your coils to bend in to where the airflow from the center comes up and hits the coils, but it's also getting airflow from the sides. So you want to bend them in, not to where the coils touch, but they have a little bit of a gap in between them. And then I'm talking about 3 millimeter inside diameter. If you're using a 2.5 millimeter inside diameter, then you're going to have to adjust that a little bit. Uh, it's okay, Pat. It's okay. Yeah, we're getting all into it, Pat. We're going through everything tonight. Yeah, the M25 for me, you have your mod. Nice, Dragon. How's it working out for you? I'm so anxious. Dragon Moon, for those of y'all that don't know, Dragon Moon's been around since the Vapor TV days. Okay, and she used to vape, and sometimes people fall off the wagon. There's no reason to criticize anybody for falling off the wagon. So she went back to smoking. And now she's attempting to start vaping again, which I think is great. And I hope that the device she got is going to put her back on track to where even if Dragon, you're not the only one that dual vapes in here. RS, who is a like legend in the community, he still dual uses. I don't look down on anybody for dual using. I mean, hey, whatever you have to do, that's what you got to do. I just prefer myself not to dual use. I don't think that if I'm doing that I'm clearly not getting everything out of my lungs like vaping has done for me. Cause since I've been vaping now like 8 years, so it's been a big difference. Hey, Michael, how's it going? Um, Now the whole DIY thing, and I know it scares a lot of people. Exactly, RS. DIY can be scary for a lot of people. You can DIY and you can either go by milliliter when you're going to make your juice, or you can go by weight. Now, weight seems to be a little bit more accurate than milliliter, because if you're trying to measure 2.3 milliliters out of a syringe, obviously that's going to be a little off. If you're going by weight, it's going to be the exact right grams. It may say you need 168 grams or 16 grams of whatever flavor, and you just put that on your scale. You can tear out your scale, zero it out, add that flavor, get you 16, tear it out again, and then go to the next flavor, which it'll say, hey, you need this many. Whoa, I'm trying to keep up with chat, guys, but it's popping up so quick. Hold on. I've been DIYing for a few months. Use drip hacks starter kits. They are just super easy to make. King Cobra, I couldn't agree more. Especially if you're new to DIY. Don't make you DIY. Unicron. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. I'm not forcing it. Obviously, I can't force you anyway, but I would never force anybody to DIY. I think though, just having the knowledge on being able to DIY is the main focus I'm trying to put out. I think that people should know how to DIY just in case. Because, I mean, these bans that are coming out, guys, literally, the one they're talking about now, I don't, yeah, maybe some of y'all don't even know, they're talking about banning vaping or flavors, I should say, in Washington State. And that's supposed to happen on October 10th. So for them to announce that today and basically give you what, 2 weeks to load up on all your gear, that's not a lot of time. So if it ever gets to the point where they ban everything in your state, where you can't buy flavors in a vape shop anymore, they have to pull it all down. You need to be able to DIY. Now, obviously, you can't DIY the exact same flavor that you're used to that you buy off the shelf, but you can get something similar. Just something that'll satisfy you to where you don't need that cigarette. That's the main point that you want to do. Um, yeah, exactly, Jazzy. Yeah, in Massachusetts, guys, there was no warning whatsoever. Boom, ban. I mean, what are you going to do when they instantly ban your entire state? Not from just flavorings. It's just like bam, everything. We're banning all vaping. And I'll be damned. They're gonna have to pry every mod out of my hand. That's not gonna happen because I'm good to go. I can DIY. I'll still be able to broadcast on YouTube. What are they going to do? And if I can't broadcast on YouTube, I'll broadcast somewhere else. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing just because the government wants to make their pockets bigger, which is this. I mean, to be honest, Pat and everybody else, this is all about money. It's always been about money and the MSA agreement. And if y'all, I really hate preaching to y'all. I hate preaching to y'all. If it hasn't been done enough on Facebook, then by God, it's been done on YouTube or somebody's posted something about it. It's just the and there's videos. I even posted one on the Scuba's Hangout group about the MSA agreement. And if y'all haven't watched that, do me a favor, watch that because it explains all these states, and the main states that are losing the most money are California and New York because they're the ones that's getting the biggest settlement from the MSA agreement. But now that all this ban stuff has come out, ooh, that is damn good. Oh my God. Okay, I'm drinking Hennessy. I already had my fighting cock. This is Hennessy. That is damn good. Holy crap. Um, Chapel de la Scuba, Unicron. Yeah. I really don't think that us being told, oh my God, okay, the kids are watching a television program and they just said scuba diver, and now I'm interested. Okay, anyways, but I don't think we should be sitting there and told after all this has been going on in the United States that hey, I told you so, U.S., blah, 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 blah. We all knew that already, okay? It was no brainstorm by any certain person that, hey, this was going to start happening. And I'm about sick of hearing it, I was the one that told you this, or I was the one. Give me a damn break, okay? You're not introducing anything new. It was known already. Trust me. Anybody that's involved in the vape community already knew all this stuff was going on in the background. Now, all these CASA, et cetera, et cetera. Now, that's your own personal preference, whether you choose to support these organizations. I honestly couldn't tell you. I might do that, Wolf. I might because I'm by myself tonight. I may turn on Zoom. Um, how many vapors vote? I hope all of them. I hope all the vapors vote. I hope so. Um, yeah, I was telling yeah, DeMillan, we got some Carolina extract nicotine. Now, it depends on what you're wanting to spend as far as nicotine goes. There's a bunch of nicotine companies out there. I personally do not prefer Um, oh, okay, Al. I may turn on Zoom. Hey, I got no problem with that. I may turn on Zoom for you guys. I can't. This discussion needs to be had, needs to be said. And Tetley, I wonder that myself. I would be worried about Aries, but I still see that he posts on Facebook every once in a while. I really think that Aries just he's not up to casting right now. I don't want to bug him, but I may end up sending him a message just to find out how he's doing, make sure he's okay. I'll be the last person to ever to ever push him to, hey, you need to get on cast. No, that would never happen. He can take all the time he needs. I got no problem with that. Speed's working. I mean, hey, people have lives. I completely understand. Um, yeah, Kasa, it's kind of weird because you would think with all this going on, we'd hear a lot more from Kasa, but we don't. That really irks me. You would think you'd hear a lot more from Kasa, but no. Um, and I know a lot of these organizations do a lot of stuff in the background that we don't see. And I appreciate what they do for the industry, and I'm hoping that they can step up to the plate. The main problem that we have is too much diversity. We don't have one solid group that's fighting for our rights. We need all the money, all the people converged into one ginormous group that's fighting the government. Otherwise, we're fighting a losing battle. I really don't think we can win it anyway just because of big tobacco, big pharma. You can't compare. There's no way you can touch their access to funds and advertising. The media the media right now is what's controlling all this. Believe it or not, the media, depending on what stories they put out to the public, because the public is kind of falling deaf ear to all this. They don't know what's causing all these deaths. All they see is vaping's bad, vaping's killing people. They have no idea what's going on in the background. So they don't know what to believe besides what they're being told on the damn news, which I think that's the worst thing you can look at. I mean, now some of the newscasts are actually great, but those aren't getting copycatted to the other networks, which you would think would happen. But no, it depends on the producers and the directors of said network on their views, because if they don't agree with it, it's not going to be passed to the anchor person to broadcast it on the news. It's going to be, hey, you're going to do everything you can to make vaping look bad, and that's what they have to do, or they lose their job. So it's all dependent on basically, whether Democratic, Republican, whatever you're feeling like, or whatever role their involvement in on said network, NBC, CBS, Fox, et cetera, and their feelings on what's going on what we get told on the news, which is bull crap. Yeah, who pays the gatekeepers the most wins. Um, Balls, congratulations, you put your order in the Liquid Barn. And Balls, like I said, in the future, I want to try to do some episodes where I go through DIY and I want to explain to people probably which way is the best way to go, especially as far as buying nicotine or VG or PG. Now, it depends on what type of juice you're trying to make. If you're making 50-50, obviously you're going to need PG. Um, all the nicotine I get is in a PG base, and I've explained this before, but I have to do it every time because I don't want people going, "You never told me that." Um, the reason I get nicotine in a PG base is because the nicotine stays more mixed up in a PG base than it does in a VG base. So if you have nicotine in a VG base, the nicotine is going to separate a lot more than it would in a PG base. So especially if you're freezing or cooling down your nicotine, all that nicotine is going to separate from the VG and end up on top of the bottle. So if you go to pull from that bottle to get whatever nicotine and all the nicotine's on top, you're going to have a really strong concentration of nicotine, and your whole bottle of juice that you just made is completely wrong and probably deadly. So make sure whether you get, and I strongly recommend PG nicotine. But whenever you get that you shake the bejesus out of it before you make juice. And if it's frozen or in the freezer, let it warm up to room temperature before you do that, because if you shake it when it's cold, it's still really thick. You'll see, because the nicotine will move really slow in the jug. If it does that, then you know it's not going to mix well when you shake it, obviously, because you're just shaking around a big lump of liquid and it's not mixing. You need that stuff mixed up, because you don't want that nicotine all on the top and then all the PG down below it. Timekeeper, I don't know. What happens when it's all proven to be bullcrap? They'll sweep it under the rug and say that they were misinformed, and I really don't think that it's going to change much. It's killing me, man. I'm seeing all these states getting all these bans, and I'm like, dadgum, man, stop with the bans. We're trying to save people's lives here, and y'all would rather make your stupid MSA money off cigarettes than save people's lives. And it's like it's always been, and we've always said in the past, it's about the damn money. Always has been. Yeah, don't buy Nick on the street corner. DeMillan, exactly. Don't buy Nick on the street corner. Don't buy vape cartridges on the street corner either. Um, it's and the bad, and not only that, whether it affects us vapors or not, it's affecting a lot of people's jobs. All these people that work in vape shops, what are they going to do? The owners of vape shops, that's their livelihood. That's how they bring in money to feed their family. They're going to have to shut their business down, and they're going to have to find a new place to work. That's bullcrap. Um, Now, let me explain. Let me explain another reason about the nicotine. I bet it is, Vapor Owl. I bet it is. Now, nicotine you can buy in various milligram strengths, okay? Now, I do not recommend buying anything over 100 milligram unless you are a freaking high grade facility that's set up for making juice. Okay, see, Michael, um, because if you're making juice, anything over 100 milligram and you don't have a respirator on, that can kill you. And if you do buy nicotine, whatever milligram it is, don't smell it, okay? And I don't think anybody's ever talked about that. Don't take off the cap to smell what nicotine smells like, because it could really screw you up, okay? The fumes are toxic that come off of nicotine. You may do that with a flavored juice, that's fine, but with nicotine that you buy, that you're going to DIY with, Jazzy, that goes for you too, don't take off the cap and smell the damn nicotine. Very bad. I do recommend, if you are going to DIY, that you do it in a well ventilated area. And I personally prefer 100 milligram nicotine. And the reason why I prefer 100 milligram is because it takes way less. Uh, well, Pat, I'm trying. It takes okay. Now, as far as nicotine goes, like, you can buy 24 milligram, you can buy 48 milligram, you can buy 100 milligram, and if you want, you can buy 400 milligram and higher. But those are very dangerous. Like I said, I do not recommend buying anything over 100 milligram unless you're a shop with a special machine that actually makes the juice. Don't buy over 100 milligram. Now, 100 milligram is going to take, now, okay, think of it like this. Say you're making juice. Um, yeah, that's probably why.
Really? I didn't know you couldn't sniff it.
The actual liquid nicotine?
Mom has bottles in the freezer. I know you couldn't touch it. I didn't know you couldn't sniff it.
You sniffed that?
Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
No.
Okay. Don't, like I said, and I'm saying again, don't sniff nicotine. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is so, it's a skull and crossbones on there.
No, it's not.
The hell there is not. guarantee there's a skull and crossbones on there. Oh my God. Okay. You do not smell, whiff, snort anything nicotine. Trust me.
This is nicotine.
That's not the original bottle. That's why.
Oh.
This has nicotine, obviously, and it's frozen. That either the stickers come off or something. Look at any one of them white bottles that's in there inside the plastic. I bet you that one has a skull and crossbones. Yeah, don't sniff nicotine. Oh my God. I'm surprised you aren't in the hospital right now. Yeah, don't do that. Anyways, that was the thing I wanted to make sure that you guys knew. Like, oh, now you tell me. Will, okay. If it, you know what? If I didn't say that, then somebody is going to do it, and then we're all going to get blamed for it because you didn't tell me we couldn't sniff it. Because you do it with flavors. You're like, oh, you see somebody grab some juice at a vape show, and the first thing they do is they smell it, right? Don't do that with nicotine, okay? Don't do that. And I'm sure Jen and David from e-cig has probably said this before, but just in case you haven't heard it, I'm telling you now, don't do that. Very bad. Oh my God. That freezing nicotine destroys it. It's the heat that kills it. I heard the FDA has allowed the sale of the oh my God. Kitman, it doesn't surprise me. And the IQOS, or whatever the hell they want to call that piece of crap, is a cigarette. Now, MB Smez and anybody else that's just getting into vaping, that IQOS thing is not vaping, okay? That is literally a device that is burning a cigarette inside of it. It's not vaping. That does not count as vaping. Screw big tobacco and these little copycat devices they're making that makes it look like you're vaping, but you're not vaping. Do not use that damn thing. That's bullcrap. Okay. All right, I'm going to turn Zoom on. Let me go to, let's see. I'll try turning studio mode. I'm going to try to get my Zoom going because why not? There we go. And then I'll just change out my camera, and then Owl and whoever can call in. Right now it's going to say your camera's in use. There we go. Oh, look, y'all already there. All right. Hold on. Let me get everything situated. Let me pull my camera off. Y'all should still be able to hear me, though. There we go. Why is it not showing me yet? Oh, now I should be able to start my video, hopefully. Really? Hold on a second. Whoa. And the sound's not right either. Oh, come on. Okay, it's like completely froze on my screen. What the hell is wrong with Zoom?
Well, I had it opened up first, so I don't know if that affects you.
No, it doesn't. It's fine. Dadgummit. Right now it's frozen for me. It's running twice or something. Well, I gotta close it. Oh, I don't care about reporting the program to Microsoft. Are you kidding me? Come on, close. The reason why is because my camera was running, then I went into Zoom and my camera was already going, and it pisses it off when you try to start the camera. And now it's really got my computer screwed up. What did I just click on? Really? How did I end up on metal polishing website? All right, let me see if I can get, why is it doing this? All right, I'm gonna have to do the task manager and blow Zoom out because it's screwed right now. 1 liter, yeah, 1 liter will last you a long time of nicotine. Trust me, you're only using, what'd you say, DeMillan, at the most? Even if you're making 120 mil, maybe 3 mils of nicotine. I don't even remember what it is. It depends on what, you know, 100% CPU. What is using 100% of the CPU? Holy crap. Yeah, 1 liter lasts a long time. And it's still not doing what I told it to. Let's try this again. Let's pull my camera down. I can't do it unless I do the turn the studio mode thing off. There we go. My camera's off. Let me try and join a meeting. And then I'll try to add it in here. Is my battery's dead? No. I don't know what's going on with Zoom. It is pissed right now. It's not even working. Really? Urgh. This is getting on my nerves. Alright, Zoom is pissed off right now. There it goes. Join with computer audio. Let me try to fix my audio first. Microphone. Okay, that's wrong. There we go. Now I should be able to hear.
We can hear you.
Yep, I'm trying to switch the camera on now, hopefully. There we
There
go.
we go.
Crap, man. It's all right. Let's see if I can
Put us
fix
on
this
camera
now.
there.
You know, it's always technical difficulties here. All right, let's see if I can add y'all in now. Add window capture. Boom, there we go.
There you go.
You know, I figure it out sooner or later. We're gonna not even worry so much about the stupid other part. There we go. We're in there.
Good.
So,
Good.
what do y'all think about all this stuff that's going on? And it's bad as it is. It's like, holy crap. I can't break it as good as Holy does. Okay, George. Why is everybody frozen now? I didn't do anything, stupid Zoom. There it goes. It's moving again. Now I have 8,000 windows going. What the hell?
The thing that's going on in Rhode Island right now is the governor is getting set to sign an executive order banning all the sale of all vape flavored devices, whether it's e-juice or whether it's a closed pod system that has flavoring in it. They're going to end it, so that we're not as bad as what Massachusetts is doing or Connecticut.
Right.
Signed it. Now she's getting rules together with her lawyer.
And yeah, she signed the orders, but now she's talking with the lawyers and everything to see about, you know, all the things that are going to be involved in it. And supposedly she's talking with vaping experts, you know, to get their side of the story and get some input from the
Wait a
vaping
minute.
stores.
You gotta fix the broadcast because I'm only showing my forehead.
You're only your forehead, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's okay.
Oh, I see it. Okay. Well, now it's right. What the hell?
Stop clicking
There you
things,
go.
Stu.
I didn't do anything. I don't know. Okay, as long as it stays right now. So wait a minute. You're telling me they want to ban it before she finds out the facts?
Yeah.
What the? Okay, that right there tells you how stupid this is. They're like, hey, let's
Well, all this
ban it,
stuff
and
is
then we're gonna figure out what's going on. Then we'll unban it or
all
not.
all this stuff is all knee-jerk reaction right at this point in a lot of cases. Hey, RS.
Here he is.
You know, so that's the way I'm looking at it. But in the meantime, you know, listening to Dave's Friday morning show, the
Mm-hmm.
Trench's Funny Farm, you know, he's trying to put as much of a positive spin on it as he can possibly do. You know, he's already got a skew for e-liquid base.
Right.
Okay. And I guess he's inferring that because that's not a flavor, that's just a base. he's going to be able to continue to sell that as well as the concentrates.
Oh, a base and okay, I see what you're saying. I thought you were
So
talking about concentrates. So you're saying a base like
yeah,
75-25 mix with maybe nicotine already in there, in the base you
right.
add to the concentrate.
So
Gotcha.
we have something like this.
Right.
Okay. Now this is just a base. This has no nicotine. There's no VG/PG. This is just the PG flavoring.
Gotcha.
And David and Jen did that just for this specific reason that they knew that something like this was going to happen.
Right.
Is that the
Okay.
base or the concentrate? Because the base has PG and VG in it.
Right.
Right.
But the
He's
thing
got
is,
the concentrate.
you can't call a base e-liquid per se. They've got a skew on it so that if worse comes to worse, they can get that pushed hopefully through the FDA so that they can sell the base.
Yeah, but it still has to go through the PMTA, and
Right.
the PMTA has a really bad history.
Right. But the flavoring, now David and Jen did this because they found out they don't have to go through a PMTA for this.
Right, because it has no nicotine in there.
There's no nicotine. It's not a vape juice per se. This is no
Right.
good until you mix it with something.
Right.
So in the meantime, you get a hold of one of these.
That's the same VG that I use.
Same here.
Exactly.
Great
So
stuff.
the flavoring is just PG
Yep.
flavor and flavoring.
Right.
And the base
Yep.
flavorings bottles, and she sells
The concentrates are just the flavor mixed the way they would
Yeah,
mix it and
pre-mixed
put it in.
flavor.
in the pre-mixed with the PG, and then you
Right.
have
No,
to
not
add.
with the PG. The concentrates don't have PG in them.
Okay,
Wrong.
The
This
base
is
no,
has
the one that he has
PG
from
or
Higgy's.
VG in it.
yeah, this is PG flavoring.
Right.
Okay, just like you would buy all the individual flavors and mix them together into
Yep.
Pegasus steers.
Okay, so you have
Okay.
the PG plus the flavoring. You need to
Right.
add the nicotine and the VG to your
Now-
Vikings or whatever.
I've got it so that I put 15% of this into the solution. In other words, I know exactly how much of this to measure out, weigh it in using a scale.
The PG, by the way, in the concentrates is not added. The flavors come in a PG solution.
Right.
Exactly. But when you're doing a DIY situation, this counts as a PG in the ratio. Okay, so when I add 15% of this and then 85% VG, that's exactly the mix I'm getting. I'm getting a 15-85
Yep.
PG VG ratio.
There you go.
And 15% with this, with the VG, is equivalent to their WOW flavoring profile.
Mhm.
Yeah, the Essential Depot VG dire thing, you can buy on Amazon. A gallon of it on Prime is like $26.97. If
You can
you
buy
only
it
want a
straight from
gallon.
Essential Depot for a little bit less too.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's
Well,
where I get it.
Prime is, 2-day free shipping. There you go. Or you can buy the 4-pack. Now, if you buy the 4-pack, it is not Prime shipping, and it's like $35 more shipping. So,
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah, and if you buy it from Essential Depot, it does have shipping, but it works out to even a little bit less than Amazon without the shipping.
yeah.
Yeah.
And what does Amazon actually quantify what it's used for?
Yeah, see, Jazzy ordered his VG yesterday. He got it today. That's how fast Amazon was.
Yep.
I mean, he's like 15 miles from where I guess their distributor place is. I was
Yeah,
like,
if
crap.
your distributor place is and your Prime, if your distributor place is close and your Prime, and you order early in the day, you can get it same day.
Wow, that would be great. No, we ordered late last night, very late, and it came today, and I was like, wow, that's fast. Yeah, Glycube, yeah, that's a 4-pack. That's 4 gallons of VG. Now, it depends on how much DIY.
They have actually two sets of those, or actually 3 sets of those 4-packs. You can buy 4 VG, 4
Hmm.
PG, or 2 and 2.
There you go.
Now, what I've seen on the news so far is like they talked with
The
Mike
VG is
Ron.
palm based, Yardbird. The VVG is palm based.
They talked with Ron. Yeah, Mike Ronshu of Giant Vapors because they're based in Rhode Island. They also talked with Goodfellows over in Massachusetts. You know, about all this stuff. And one of the things that strikes me is that it's all well and good that they're trying to advocate vaping and putting the onus on the black market cartridges and stuff. But I think another thing that they should do is basically just say right out to the governors of these states, see this business? This is no longer tax money coming into your pocket.
Yardbird, let me see if I can check for
And
you.
this business is what feeds my family.
Yes, it is,
So
Yardbird. I already know. It's
Oh,
palm
okay.
based VG
at
kosher.
the
It's
end
I
of the
thought it was
day,
kosher, but I wasn't sure.
Yep.
I'm coming down to the unemployment office and I'm going to become part of your unemployment profile because I no longer have a job and I no longer have a business.
Yeah. Well, you would think now that the CDC wants to admit, hey, it was these THC cartridges, that most of the news organizations out there would grab that story and run with it. Why hasn't that happened? Why hasn't that happened?
Because the vaping community doesn't have, I mean, the vaping community has been trying for years now to try and get an organization that understands media control.
Hmm.
Dimitri was talking about this on the Vapors Watch. How, you know, it's a day late, dollar short for all of this stuff that's going on now because
Yep.
we should have been doing it back in 2016 when they were just starting to run all of this anti-vaping campaign in the media.
Right.
Excuse me. Dimitri, along with Phil and quite a few other people, were trying to get, and with Vapors Watch, were trying to get inroads into like CBS, NBC, and all the major news outlets to try and get some kind of vaping campaign to let people know the truth about vaping, but it fell by the wayside. You know, it's all money at this point. If you don't have the money to try and buy the outlet, then you don't have the outlet.
Right.
You know, now in a
Well,
positive outlook from Dimitri, he says there are some things in the works, and what's going to happen and what has to happen is the truth has to be out there of how much the government lied about everything and how much they're covering everything up on the state level, the local levels, and on the federal level. But unfortunately, for a lot of this stuff, it's going to be a day late and dollar short, especially on the state levels, because they're making it sound like it's all about the children, all about the children. I mean,
Right.
we've
oh
been
my
vaping for
God.
well over 10 years now. Many of us, like you, Scuba, have been doing it for 8 years, 10 years.
Right. Well, I
All
just
of a sudden,
officially count it as 8, but yeah.
2018 comes along, and we get these hundreds of problems with people vaping and having lung problems.
Right.
You know, I mean, a sane
Oh
person
boy,
would say, well, how
ammunition.
come this is all happening now and didn't happen all the years previously? You know, you've got the head of the CDC saying, you know,
Because if you want to play devil's advocate, it took years to get to those illnesses. We didn't know, and it was buildup. Okay.
yeah, well, unfortunately, they've already cut their arm off on that one because they're saying these are basically, many of them are teenagers, okay, who started vaping
Understood.
and had this problem
I
happen.
didn't say it was rational thought. I said it was devil's
Right.
advocate.
Well, that's what I was talking about, rational thought. People are not looking at this as the crime it really is. And that's what it is. It's a crime.
It's overuse of
Okay.
power.
If you look at this as a crime scene, the first thing you're going to want to do is ask yourself, who benefits from all this? And from that, you go to following the money trail. And fortunately, right now, there's a reporter that has done that. And David was talking about it this morning.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Okay. Where a guy took a guy, not a teenager, that was having lung problems, and they were blaming vaping, the whole 9 yards. And he followed the money trail back to China with all the drug cartel and the whole 9 yards going on, putting this stuff out on the market. Okay.
Oh, by the way, if people want to buy Nick, another thing that David said, and it is true, I checked into it. Be careful if you buy Nick from China, because much of the Nick that comes from China is pure 1,000 milligram Nick.
Oh hell no! Yeah,
Mhm.
you don't want to do that. That requires a special machine to distribute that because
It
it's
See,
like one drop.
requires at the very least what David uses, and that's a full hazmat suit with a gaseous respirator, not the particulate respirator, but a respirator. That's the least you can get away with. What
I
you
think
really want is an isolation booth to
I
work
think
with.
the caution here with everything as far as DIY is concerned, especially with the NIC. I mean, I've got to a point where I'm not using NIC, so I'm not really worried about it. But
Oh, that's great.
I would probably be buying it from Nick River or a Central Depot.
Right.
And I'm not going to look for the cheapest bargain I can get on nicotine.
Right.
That's where you're going to get into trouble, is if you start trying to price it and say, "Oh, I can get a gallon of it for $10 from here." I'd be awful suspicious of that if everybody else is selling,
Yeah,
only 100 milliliters for $10.
I can't stand nicotine from Wizard Labs. To me, and Lizard
And
Labs.
it's all personal preference. I
It
buy
is
nothing but
personal
Wizard
preference.
Labs.
Wizard Labs just to me has a very pepperish taste
It
to it.
does. It does.
When you vape it, you're going to taste this pepper, and you're wondering where the hell it comes from. Trust me, it's the nicotine.
Right.
That's why I don't buy from there. Other than that, I mean, yeah, Nicotine River, great place. Carolina Extract, I've only heard the good things. I don't have any from there. Mine is from Nick River.
Yeah, for
It's
me, the
like half the
peppery taste
price.
adds a little bit of throat hit, and
Yeah.
that's why I like that one. But again, it's personal preference. If you don't like that peppery taste, don't buy from MVS or what was it that you said?
Wizard
Lab.
Labs. Yeah,
Yeah.
Wizard Labs. Yeah, Nick River to me it makes really good nicotine. I don't have any problems with the nicotine from Nick River changing colors. Obviously, you can tell if you get your nicotine and it's off colored, it's not clear. That's not a good nicotine, and I would
No, it's already
complain
aged.
immediately. As soon as you get it, if it's off color, if it doesn't look clear,
It's even slightly pink.
yeah, then or yeah, pink, it almost looks strawberry, then that's not good nicotine. You need to send it back and say, "Hey, this is bull. I don't want this." Blah blah blah. Whatever you need to do because your nicotine should be clear. It should stay that way until you mix it with some kind of flavoring. Then you're obviously gonna get some color, but it's just not. It's not right for
I have
them.
nicotine from MVS and from Wizard Labs in
Yep.
the freezer that has been in the freezer for 3 years, and it is still clear.
Nice, nice. Wow. I'm so yeah. I would be surprised yeah, if you like the throat hit from Wizard Labs, I completely understand. I could see where that would give you a bigger throat hit, but for me, it gives me a good throat hit, but on the end, I get that aftertaste of
Hmm.
pepper, and
Yep.
that just makes me go, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. I've never had that problem with anything that Higgies has sold. I really am glad that Higgies is one of the only companies, there's not many out there that you can actually buy concentrates from. So if you guys are scared about being able to DIY. Say you don't even want to get into DIY, you can still buy concentrates from
Yeah,
Higgy's.
you don't even have to mix the flavors.
Yeah, and then the flavor's already mixed for you. All you need to do is buy your nicotine and your VG, pretty much, because it's
Yep.
already got PG in there. So you just buy your VG, which is not that expensive for an entire gallon, and then buy your nicotine from whichever person you decide. Heartland does have a great starter kit. Now, their starter kit comes with syringes, gloves, nicotine, PG, VG, everything you could want to start out. And then it comes with 5 flavors also. But I don't know about how good their flavoring is. I don't know. But you don't need all that. You need some syringes. You got to have those. The VG and the PG. The PG is not as much a need unless you really want to change your mix up to more than like 80, between 75 25. If you need a 50-50, obviously you're going to need to add some PG to cut that down if you're trying to make a 50-50 juice.
PG comes first, 25,
Right.
75.
Well, there you go. So if I'm talking fast, I can't.
I got you.
So if you're needing to bring your mix to 50-50, then you're going to need to buy some PG. Otherwise, most of the time when you're making a juice, especially if you're adding a concentrate to it, it's already got the PG in there, so you're just adding VG
Right.
to that.
And I do 50-50, and you'll be surprised. You go through approximately 1/3 of the PG that you do with the VG because the flavors already have PG in
And
it.
most of the calculators out there that you're calculating on how to mix your juice have, hey, is your nicotine PG or VG based? It asks you that. You can say,
Right.
hey, this is 100% PG based nicotine, which is, like I said, what I recommend doing because it's a lot easier to mix up than VG is. So you want to keep that mixed up so you don't have all the nicotine on top and end up with a freaking really crazy strong vape juice that you don't
And
want
I
to make.
agree. I happen to buy VG based Nick, but that's because once in a while I like a high VG
Oh,
mix.
okay. So you just
But
really want.
but what I do is I have a drill that goes very slow, and I've got a jig on it, and I can rotate that bottle
Ah,
for like 2 hours to totally mix it up.
there you go. Well, see, now if you're going to take the time to do that, then I completely understand. If you're trying to keep your juice really high VG, which I don't understand why RS would do that because he likes the throat hit. And if you like the throat hit, then
Oh,
you
once
want
in a
more
while I
PG
have
in
a
your juice.
sore throat. I don't need that throat hit,
Oh, okay, there you go.
you know.
Please check my
Also,
messenger.
also one thing that I would suggest getting is a titration kit and titrate your Nick. I'll give you an example. The very first time I bought a bottle of nicotine, I shook it up. I drew a smaller bottle off of it. I mixed it up according to the recipe, and I took one vape, and I said something is wrong here, and I put that mod down and used other mods for a while. Went and got a titration kit. I had hit a hot spot. I was not vaping 18 Nick as I usually do, and I thought I was vaping because of the recipe. I was vaping 72 milligram Nick. 72 milligram
72. Wow.
juice. Yes. And one vape, I had to go lay down because I was sick to my stomach. So
Wow.
get yourself a titration kit.
Beast,
Know
if
what
you
you're
sent
getting
me
in.
something, I did not get it. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't get any message from you, Beast, in Messenger. I got one from Pat, but that was it. And poor Al sitting there, his whole freaking state is banned. How is
Well,
that
it's
going?
only flavor. It's flavoring and menthol included in that.
Okay, so they didn't ban devices, just
Not
flavoring
yet, and
yeah,
I don't
not
think.
yet, right?
And I think Massachusetts was just like, okay, we'll just take it up one more notch, and show that we can empty the stores out immediately. I mean, it's just disgusting what we're
Yeah,
seeing.
Massachusetts sent raids around with the police.
Oh, they
And-
showed up at people's, they showed up at convenience stores and they're like, I did not know that. And I'm sorry, it's not racist what I'm about to do, but I did not know you're not allowed to sell this. And they're like, you have to remove it. And they're not like, you have to remove it by the end of the day. They're like, we're here now and you need to take it off your shelves right now. Oh my God, I got to take them. Okay.
In
But
in
not
some
65
raids in Massachusetts, they confiscated the stuff.
Yeah. Well, Jazzy was saying that one of the guys he knows runs a vape shop, and the sheriff came in there and he refused to shut it down, and they locked him up. And I'm like, what charge did they put on him when they locked him up? What violation did he do?
Selling prohibited items.
Well, he didn't sell anything at that point. They never. I doubt they saw him sell anything. He just refused to shut his business down. I'm trying to figure out what charge did they give him for locking him
What
up.
happened?
In Massachusetts. Yeah. The sheriff come around after they passed this statewide vape ban of everything.
Right.
The sheriff went around closing down vape shops, and
How
one vape shop.
They don't have the right to close down the vape shops. What if they have nicotine toothpicks? Can't they just sell that?
You got me, Al. I have no idea. I'm just going by what I heard.
Okay.
And this guy refused. He refused to close his store down, and they locked him up. And I'm like, what the hell? Hey, Bill, how's it going? Figured I'd type this before my freedom to comment. Bill, I agree completely. You may not be able to speak pretty soon, according to the damn government. They're going to be like, hey, you're not even allowed to talk about vaping anymore, and YouTube is going to be stricken from all vape conversation, and we'll just move to a freaking different platform. That's what we'll do.
It's going to be really scary when you're crossing state lines if it actually means that vapors can't vape. Like if you can't walk down the street anymore and vape any longer, but then you drive across state lines. We're from flavor ban into Massachusetts, and then you get pulled over and they arrest you because you got a vaporizer in your car and a bottle of juice, which is maybe.
But you can walk behind somebody smoking a freaking cigarette that makes you half choked to death, and that's fine. That's fine.
All that happened with Prohibition. People went to when they closed down state by state, and people were going across state lines to get their booze, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, I know some people.
It's probably why Rhode Island hasn't banned anything like that, so that people in Massachusetts will buy product in Rhode Island.
Oh my God, I need more Hennessy.
Oh, you like the Hennessy, huh?
The Hennessy actually straight was really strong, but mixed with this.
Last night the water was just showing this much in the jug.
Is really good. It's actually really good. I like the sweetness it has. I can't explain it. It's got a little sweet texture to it. It's really good.
And just like Prohibition, you're going to have quote unquote speakeasies, private clubs where you pay a fee to be in the club.
Like Southern Comfort, I couldn't drink it.
Yeah, in Rhode Island, the sale of vaping products is not prohibited unless the vaping product itself is the flavor.
Correct.
In other words, if you got a Juul,
that's the same thing here.
Or any pod system, closed pod system that comes with a flavored vape inside of it, then that's not going to be allowed to be sold.
Well,
that's where the speakeasies come in because they're not selling it.
This is why I said in the hearing in New York that the convenience stores. And I said C stores. They said, "What's a C store?" I said, "Are you kidding me?" And I didn't say that. But I was like, and then I was derogatory. And
you have to explain everything to them.
I said bodega. That's racist, but I did say bodega. That's what they call them in the Spanish community. But I said, just if you want to wipe out the problem in 20 days, just go to the C stores and remove the product. Just remove the product from the C stores and let the people who are actually doing the regulation and trying to do what their job is, which is to, card people and make sure that they're not buying underage, do their job. I said there are no C stores represented in this entire room. Maybe 1% is C stores, but the rest of the people own vape shops.
Right.
Now look, they're going through in Massachusetts and doing exactly what I said, but they're doing it to all the vape shops as well.
Right.
And they're doing a
Millen,
good job
I
of
don't
it
think
for their own benefit, but not a good
I
job
don't
for
think they're
us.
seasonal online sales. What I think they're doing is individual companies know that there's a ban in whatever state and refusing to sell to those states.
That's not entirely true.
Really?
No, it's
No.
more of a situation like Giant Vapes is based in Rhode Island.
Okay.
If we, as a state, said, okay, we can't do any online sales, that would mean that Giant Vapes couldn't sell out of the state online or to anybody in the state online.
Okay.
But they
So I
can't
That
think
sell
doesn't
in
mean
state
they
online.
couldn't order, right?
They can't sell it to people in the state online, I don't think. But I was talking to Watch Hill today, and I ordered some T-Max because on the show the other day
There
I
you
won
go.
a $20 coupon.
Hell
And
yeah.
in fact, I'll pimp out T-Max right now, or watch his website right now is 20% off of all the products that he has except for
Thank
non-e-liquid
you.
products. So if you're interested in buying e-liquid and you like T-Max or you like
If you get
Matt
his ear
Murdoch and
again,
things like that,
ask him to
he's
bring
doing
back
20% off.
ask him to bring back Superman.
Oh, okay. I think he
Shane,
did. I
yeah,
think he's restocking everything.
I'm still vaping the D barrel, Shane. For $20, that mod, this has been a damn good little mod for $20. I haven't had any problems with the paint or anything. Now, obviously, I'm not taking it outside and banging
Can I
it
talk?
against stuff, but
I apologize, but Shane Smith, you're in New York. I'm in New York as well. And if you are, I think the problem is that they haven't really said what the rule is on online sales from outside the states and outside the state that's shipping to you. I talked to Watch today from T-Max. If you go to Vaping Watch, it's not vapingwatch.com, but look them up on Google for the link, or maybe somebody could put the link in here.
yeah.
He will ship. He's not going to stop shipping to the states that don't allow flavored vape products until he's told that he can't. And his lawyers have basically said, just continue to do it. The only thing that could happen is, because there's nothing illegal
Cease and
for him
desist
to do it,
order.
but they may
Right.
seize. They may seize the product in the mail before you get it. But I just want to let you know, out of the $20 that I won on the show last week, thank you, Scuba.
You're welcome.
Yeah, but
I
that brings
believe
up the
Giant
case
Vapes is still open for business. I don't think this ban went into effect yet.
that brings up the case that
But
because the
I
post
bought
office-
15 bottles of 120 mil bottles of e-liquid.
Damn,
the
you
post
used
office-
the hell out of that coupon.
I did, and I actually was talking to him, and I'll let you know this: if there's anything on the site that was out of stock yesterday or even a couple of hours ago, he has replenished the stock on all of the products to make sure that they're available to those people during this 20% off sale.
Nice.
And 20% off of his product is about $9.95 per T-Max bottle of e-liquid, which is pretty cheap if it comes down to it,
Yep.
considering the fact that I got over 1,500 milliliters of e-liquid. Now,
Now,
I
what
didn't
are the-
buy it just for myself. I got a 70-year-old friend of mine who vapes. He's concerned about this as well. He vapes only pretty much 2 flavors from T-Max and not many other flavors from anywhere else. He vapes the orange creamsicle and the strawberry taffy.
Yeah.
So I got him 10 bottles of e-liquid out of this as well. So he's going to be fine. And I just ordered him 40 coils from Element Vapes, who's also having a sale for 10% off on their products. So in the last couple of days, I think I've gone crazy. I actually went into a store. A friend of mine owns the C-store, convenience store. And he was running a sale, 2 120 mil bottles for $25. And he also said he's not going to stop selling. He will be a black market. He will sell under, from down in his basement. He is not going to stop, but he is trying to get, people to buy the liquid that he does have so that he can.
Okay, Wolf had a point about the post office.
Yeah, the post office is federal run. They're not going.
No,
The states
no,
are
they're
not going to be
independent.
able to run them.
They're independent. They're federally oversighted.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So now the other side of the coin, and RS mentioned it during in chat. When I had mentioned it to David, I've been getting emails from my vape And at this point, they're running kind of scared because they feel that they may not be a viable business by the end of the year. And they've got 65% off their entire inventory right now.
Damn.
And
I knew these sales were coming, and I feel bad for these companies. They're basically giving stuff away just to
They're
get it.
basically liquidating so that they can close.
Yeah.
they're liquidating so that they can close. But one of the other things that caught my eye was the fact that they said that by 2020, probably starting in January in 2020, all your major credit cards are not going to allow you to buy vaping products using a credit card.
So how the hell are you supposed to buy the vaping products?
Well, this is one of the ways that I suppose they can control what's going on.
Well, I'll throw this out. I heard rumor the other day, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that some child bought or vaped 100 milligram e-liquid. And that's going to stop the DIY if that story comes out. And it's supposed to come out in the next few days.
Oh
not
no.
So, I mean, imagine, you know,
How did he get
nicotine.
How did he get
Imagine
100
nicotine
milligram
not being
nicotine?
available.
Some DIYer or DIYer wannabe bought 100 milligram Nick and put it in the bottle for him.
Oh my God. Just wanted to say there was so much real info in here in 1 hour than we've seen in some shows that went on for 3 hours. Pat, I hope so. I want to clear the air. I think people need to be informed instead of misdirected by all these bullcrap posts on Facebook. That's why y'all don't see me really active on Facebook, because I can't stand it. There's good stories here and bad stories there, and then it gets shared all over the place, and it's like, what do you believe? I mean, come here and watch this damn show, and we're gonna keep it real. Always.
If you're going to break any of these new laws, make sure you do it in front of a camera.
If you're gonna break the law, do it in front
I
of
swear to God. I swear to God, they tell me that I can't vape walking down the street. I'm vaping walking down the street.
Okay.
I'm not walking down the street with this fucking mod. I'm going to walk down the street with one of my fucking mods that looks like this.
Oh, you got a damn staff of Agamemnon. Hell yeah.
And if they fucking come after me, I'm going to say, no, it's a fucking flashlight. I'm going to pull out my 510 flashlight connector and put it right the fuck on there.
There you go.
I have a friend. I don't know if you guys know AJ. Remember AJ?
Yeah, I remember AJ.
Okay, AJ had his store. He had I forget the name of the store. Venerable Vaping. He's no longer in
I
business.
couldn't even remember that. Venerable Vaping. I remember that. Yeah.
He's no longer in business. However, he started selling on eBay. So apparently they cracked down today or yesterday. Even he can't sell the product on he was selling all the clones that he had in stock, from over the years that he's, been collecting. And I said to him, so instead of selling them as mods, just sell them as flashlight mods. Go and get one. I'm only saying one flashlight, 510 connector. Have you seen these things?
I have one of those too. Okay. Yep, exactly.
And I said to him, you only need one. You take a picture of each mod with it on it, and you list it as a flashlight. And then in the comments, you say it does not come with flashlight adapter. That's it. And you get away with selling that product.
Now, if y'all do go buy one of these flashlight adapters that Al's talking about,
there's different ones for different things, right?
The LED that's in there can only handle like 3.5 volts or whatever. Mm-hmm. So if you have a regulated mod, the problem with that is it doesn't read any resistance from the flashlight, so it's from the light, the LED. So what it's going to do is it's going to put full wattage, full voltage to that light, and it will burn it out really fast. So if you're doing it on a mech mod, it'll work fine. Yep. If you're doing it on any kind of regulated mod, it's going to burn that LED faster than you can say Scuba. Trust me. So if you decide to buy one of these little 510, they're basically little 510 screw-on flashlight deals, which you can get from Fast Tech or 3F Vape or whatever.
Just don't use it until you have to prove that it's a flashlight. Oops, it burn out.
Don't put it on a regulated mod that automatically tries to judge the resistance and adjust your wattage accordingly, because it will burn out the freaking LED like
Well,
crazy.
if it's a regulated and it doesn't do any resistance, will it even work? Will it say
It'll
low
work.
atom?
It'll work, but
How does it
basically
work if it's a
the mod
how,
cries home
how
to
does it
mama.
Scuba? How does it work if it's low resistance?
It basically thinks it's infinite resistance, so it puts as much voltage as it can to the
Oh, so it's not low resistance; it's
right.
infinite. Okay.
It's infinite, so it just goes boom. Let's go ahead and throw.
Yeah,
If
well,
you got 2 batteries, let's go ahead and throw 8.4 volts to that, and
the LED sits
the
on a
LED
little
boom.
circuit board.
Yep.
It's reading the circuit board. But
And there's no, and you can try it. Any one of these regulated, it'll read 0 resistance, and any of these that try to calculate for it, it's going to throw the full wattage it can, or the
Well,
full voltage,
again,
and
my
burn out the
question:
LED.
you put a topper on with no coil on it.
Right, and it'll say no
That's
atomizer, right?
yeah.
For
That's
some reason
no
with the
that's
flashlight,
no resistance.
it still fires. I don't know why the flashlight still works, but it will. It's just gonna throw. It's maybe some loophole in their chip, but if you throw something in there like that where it still sees a
well,
positive and negative, it's gonna burn that LED
yeah, that's
out.
it. It sees the cycle. It sees the connection. With a no
Well, I mean,
atomizer, it doesn't see positive and negative. That's why it
Right.
says no
Well,
atomizer.
I'm
well,
also
What's up, Tony?
trying to,
infinite resistance is a short, and it's also protected against that.
You would think. RS, I'm confused as to why it does that also. I really am, because I burned out 2 of them already. I'm just telling you what I know from experience. So
Oh,
from
Dire thing may have it. It is resistance, but it could be 1K or higher.
Oh, okay. So it's really high. So okay.
Yeah, it just won't register.
I'm really surprised. I bought 3 of those little lights, and 2 of them I burned out because I put on a regulated mod and it burned it out. But anytime I put on a mech mod or the congestus, because you can adjust the voltage, you can put it down low enough where it won't burn out the light, and you can actually use that thing as a pretty damn good flashlight. It works really good. But yeah, I wouldn't use it on just
There's
a straight
another-
up regulated mod.
and if they get to the point where you're walking down the street and you can't vape, you can just tell them it's THC in your tank. You don't have to tell them to.
Oh my God, that's a damn shame. Oh, you can't vape. Well, this is THC. Oh, you're fine then. Really?
Absolutely. Yep.
Really?
Well, Dimitri had a nice story going on that he was talking about. In 2016, I guess Cuomo said that you couldn't no
Hey, Kenneth.
vaping
Ken, what's up?
in Central Park.
Okay.
Okay, so he and a friend went down in the middle of the day
Whoa.
and sat on a bench vaping their heads off. He called the police department and the news media and said, "Hey, I'm sitting in Central Park and I'm vaping." The police didn't care. They said, "Yeah, so what do you want us to do about it?" So he was trying to make a point, that a lot of this stuff, just because they're saying that you can't do something doesn't necessarily mean they're going to actually regulate it.
Right.
Not like in Massachusetts or New York where they
Or enforce
probably
it.
will.
Yeah, it is. I'm wondering how much that are actually going to enforce this.
My issue with the whole thing is now what's going to be happening is even in states where you can vape and vape in public and stuff, is you're going to get ostracized by all the people that see you doing it.
Beast,
Well,
if
we
you're in
are
Washington,
now because you're quote unquote smoking.
Yeah,
to
but
the
it's going to be
smoking
even
circle.
more so because they're going to say, that stuff's going to kill you just like it's killing the kids. It's just going to snowball worse than what it was.
Oh yeah, Beast, if you're in Washington, they're talking about banning flavored juices as of October 10th. Now, it's nothing written in stone, but they're considering doing it. So
Scuba,
be
did
aware
you
of
see
that.
the news about the governor in Virginia?
Yes, I did.
Yep.
At least the governor in Virginia said, you know what, we're going to take a hard look at the facts to see
Yeah,
what's really
he
causing
did.
these problems,
And I
which
give
I
him kudos for that.
appreciate that. I mean, I'm
Well,
glad that they're like, at least we're going to look at the facts before we make a decision on whether or not to ban it, instead of just going ban and then we'll look at it later. That's bullshit.
well, and I think there's lots of states that are looking at that. I was in the New Jersey hearing the other day on Tuesday, and there were 200 and something people there, and there were people on the panel that were really listening. The chairwoman that was listening, she was really paying attention. She actually told everybody in the audience that she was really appreciative how professional and how everybody was handling themselves, in such a good
Yardbird, that's
manner.
been a subject for a very long time.
And as I think there's going to be a lot of states that are going to stop and say, what are we doing here? Because if you look at what the CDC released, and they've said that they are attributing this, it looks like it's like
77% have
95 or
admitted.
77% have admitted, 16% have not admitted, right? But we know the problem. It's almost a week too late,
Right.
but it's not too late for all these other states to say, listen, let's take a look at this. This may not be an emergency,
Right.
for an emergency health situation for e-liquids. It's an emergency health, thing for THC, which they should certainly ban all the sales maybe of THC cartridges that are, if that's what they want to do, which I still think is stupid, because there are, we saw what came out, I think, on NBC News, that they tested 25 or 15 to 25 of the carts that they bought from distilleries and from shops that actually are allowed to sell this product. And then they tested 15 of the products that they got off the black market, and all 15 products on the black market tested positive for vitamin E acetate, and all the THC products that were bought in the stores tested for nothing. There was nothing wrong with them. They were perfectly fine. So it looks like it looks like there's regulation for both THC products and vaping products. Obviously, when we have it's kind of foggy on the e-liquid products, but it's the black market that's the fucking problem, and they're starting to see that right now. And so I can imagine that some of the states are not going to jump on this as quickly and hard as some of the others. And some of these states that are jumping on it are the larger states that are really, really having issues with the fact that they're not getting the money from the MSA agreement. That, they're not making their money.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what's now? I don't know if it was Wally
Alright,
or
so
somebody
make
that's
them
saying it
for me?
wasn't the vitamin E
Thank you.
acetate, but they're saying now that it was cyanide.
Cyanide.
And I'm like, what?
But actually,
the
they're not
hell?
saying, I don't know, am I wrong? But, correct me if I'm wrong. They said cyanide, but they only said that it created cyanide after it was heated. It wasn't, it's a derivative of what happened. It's not that it was
Acetate, when it's heated, can a certain
turned into a
acetate.
cyanide.
There's all kinds of acetates, but certain acetates can morph into cyanide. Yes.
Well, we all know. I mean, anybody that's familiar, cyanide will freaking kill you. It's just it'll straight up kill you. So
Actually, cyanide will not kill you. If you happen to swallow an apple seed and your digestive system goes and cracks that open, there's cyanide in an apple seed, and it won't harm you whatsoever.
well, it's probably the low amount of cyanide.
It's so low of a dose. It's a
So you can
certain
get
amount of
cyanide poison symptoms if you eat too many M&M almonds.
right.
Wow.
Almonds also have cyanide in them.
Yep. I know they do. It's just wow.
But I mean that goes to the point that as far as nicotine, there's so much stuff in nature that has nicotine that we
Right.
interact with. Why is nicotine such a terrible problem?
It's not. Nicotine is as addictive as caffeine. They are cousin. There's 2 molecules difference between nicotine and caffeine. 2 molecules. They're
Yeah,
cousins.
but if you're a 10-year-old, you can buy a power drink, and nobody blinks an eye.
I'm just watching day after day. We're seeing state after state copycatting the other state. If one state bans it, then the next state, then the next state. And I haven't seen any of the now correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't seen any of the non-MSA states try to ban vaping yet.
Munchkin's got it right. The plants produce nicotine to keep the bugs away.
Yeah. So why aren't any of the non-MSA states trying to ban vaping? It just goes to show you that it's all freaking money related, man. They need to pay all these bonds that they spent already before they even made the damn money, and they're not getting their cigarette
Well,
sales that they
that gives
expected.
you a hopeful clue, and I do mean hopeful in quotes, clue that the MSA states may be looking more at taxing it.
Well, I mean, if they need to do something to where they can regulate this, especially keep it out of teenagers' hands, which it's all about the children anyway, then that's fine. But they don't need to ban this stuff. I just don't
Well,
see.
taking what RS said a little further, I'm kind of hopeful that the non-MSA states, whether they tax vaping or not, that somebody sits down. You know that those states are not going to be targeted by the black market because there's no point to it. There's no business there for them.
Right.
And I think what's going to happen is like Rhode Island's doing it, Massachusetts doing it, Connecticut's doing it, Maine's doing it. All our northeastern states are all banning to some degree or another. The black market's just going to flourish, and now you're going to see more and more people ending up in the hospital because of it.
Yeah, bathtub e-liquid.
Yeah, see,
Bathtub gin.
Jazzy's saying all the kids are after the Nick high. So why don't they regulate the amount of nicotine that can be sold
Massachusetts
in
is actually looking at that. Massachusetts is looking at exempting low nicotine products.
Okay, so say it's 0.36 milligram or maybe even 12, that's fine. But if it's 30 or higher, those should all be pulled off the market. If they're trying to get a nicotine high.
Actually, it's all this Nick salt, this benzoic acid and stuff. I mean, the cigarette company used that for years in their cigarettes to get higher Nick concentrations in their cigarettes.
Right.
So it's no wonder that Juul,
well, the benzoic acid doesn't allow higher Nick concentrates. What it does is if you have a higher Nick concentrate, it doesn't irritate your throat.
Right. And the kids, Dimitri has found out from his kids that what they term this in the teenage population is pophead. And this is what they're all going for, is the high Nick. You take away the Nick salts and all the high Nick concentration in these devices that have to have the Nick salt.
Well, unfortunately, then the youngsters will go to the THC. They'll get their high one way or the other.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if we understand.
Yeah, but I don't think that THC actually affects the brain development of a child compared to nicotine. I think studies have shown that nicotine affects the brain more for a child than it does marijuana, because there are children who are patients.
It's the delivery system, Al. The vaping is the delivery system. It's not conducive if they're using oils instead of a product that's designed for vaping. Okay, these cartridges have got THC oil in it, and that's a
but there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with the THC oils. It's the additives that they're putting in it to cut it.
Well, the oils are certainly not good for your lungs as far as inhalation. However, the oils, if they're low enough, really.
Yeah, if they're at a tincture level.
They won't severely harm your lungs. What is the danger here is the acetate, which helps the oil bind to the epithelial tissue of the lungs and block transmission of oxygen.
Well, like David mentioned this morning, that some of these black market dealers are going to start using tap water to cut this stuff. And tap water has a whole ton of chemicals in it that shouldn't be vaped.
And germs and bacteria and you could have it, what do they put, fluorinated all you want, but there's still going to be germs.
If you're going to cut it with water, I mean, what's the harm in just fucking using a bottle of fucking spring water rather than tap water?
because that costs money. Tap water
Right.
doesn't.
It's
Exactly.
fucking 69 cents a bottle, and you're making $50 on a cartridge.
Yeah, well, the other side of the coin is too is they're not stipulating that when these kids and stuff and even adults go into the hospital, because they're not saying that they're vaping THC, because for the most part that's illegal in most states, and it's a federal regulation that you can't do it. They're not being tested for any toxicology.
Right.
Well, most of these C stores that Owl's talking about, if you go in any of these C stores, what they sell more than anything in there is pods or Juul.
Yeah.
Why is it that way? Why is it, hey, this is, and freaking Juul has big giant, I know when I was in Georgia, they got giant advertisements right on the front door when you walk in for Juul.
Yeah, well, how
Bullcrap.
much do you think they're
Well,
selling the Juuls to
that's
the
your chain
convenience store?
stores. We had a 612 store take off on 7-Eleven. It's got only 2 stores in this whole area. They don't do Juul because it's more expensive to get. They're doing these other pods that are less expensive.
They're doing either pods or little cigalites, right? That's
Right.
what most people are buying because that's what most people go to. They don't go to an actual vape shop. They go in a convenience store and they go, wow, maybe I want to try to quit smoking. And that's their choices, is whatever that C store sells, which kind of sucks because they're
By the
really...
way, when Joyce and I went to her dance group's 40th anniversary, there was somebody there with a Juul. And I had been curious about a Juul, but didn't want to spend that much money on something I might not like. So I took a hit on it. I would never buy a Juul because it had no throat hit.
Right. Yeah, I got one somewhere. I lost the charger to it, so I could never use it again, but I don't understand it. There was no benefit to me from vaping a Juul over anything else that I own. Wow, I got the
Right.
hiccups back.
And a Juul might have,
every week.
more nic than I vape, but I vape 18, so I get what I need anyway. So.
Oh yeah, if I was vaping 18, man, I would be so relaxed. I'm doing good. When I got down to 6, I was happy because I was on 12 for the longest time and thought I could never come down. So I would vape 9, 8. The good thing about Higgies is you can say, "Hey, I want 7 milligram," and they'll do it for you. A lot of juice companies out there. You have a choice of 0, 3, 6, maybe 12 if you're lucky. There's no in-betweens. Now, a lot of companies now have started doing the 1.5. So if you're really trying to go down, now I've tried to go below 6 and I can't do it. I know how agitated I get when I get below 6. So 6 is my low limit right now. If I go below 6, it's going to be a miracle.
I vape 18, I vape 3 milligram, and I vape Nick Salt at 24.
And that's got a lot to do with the device you're vaping. If you're vaping a mouth to lung, usually you're going to go with a higher nicotine ratio just to get that hit. Because I know if I'm vaping mouth to lung and I'm still on 6, it's not going to be enough.
But you need to put your drip tip right on top of the coil scoop.
Oh,
that way
yeah,
you can
there you
do
go.
1.5.
There you go. Maybe if I get my drip tip right on the coil, I get a metal drip tip that's got a cutout so that my coil can fit in between it, I'm good to go then.
Yeah, Bill Hubbard, I'll hold your head while you pray to the Iron Goddess.
79.2. And I make my own juice. That's the whole thing, Tony. I don't want people, I really don't want to force people into DIY, but I want people to be aware of it and how to do it if they are forced into that situation. Some people don't want to DIY, which I can completely understand.
DOY? What's DOI?
I'm getting it. I'm DIY. Some people don't want to DIY. I'll get it right sooner or later.
And some people have had a little too much Hennessy.
No, I need a little more Hennessy. But
I need more Hennessy.
if you do want to get into it, or if your state suddenly falls under a ban, which apparently now these bans are going in effect, like as soon as they announce it, boom, it's banned. And it's like, holy crap, I'm trying, Ken. Damn, give me a break. Um, they're banning it like the same day, which gives you no opportunity at all. And all these companies are like, really? We opened
Yeah,
up
and
for
I
business
like
and now,
I like the hearing that I saw on one of
yes,
the
Dolores.
states. Basically, the guy was testifying, why the ban shouldn't be taking place. The councilman said, "But it's only a temporary ban. It's only 6 months."
It's 6
And the
months, but everybody's going to be out of goddamn business between
and
now and then.
and the guy actually said, try not selling anything for 6 months and keeping your employees employed. We have $250,000 a month in payroll. You can't do that. You just can't
Well, I
do
mean,
that.
you have to let your employees go so you don't have payroll any longer.
Right.
But, you know,
Yeah, he basically said 6 months. It could be 6 years. It could be 60,000 years. It doesn't matter. We're out of business.
Well, in these states where the businesses are going under and that all their employees are going to have to go to the unemployment office, make
that's
sure
going to
that
cost money.
they get them all together and all go down to the unemployment office all together on one day and
Right.
storm
At the
the
same time.
unemployment office with the media there saying this happened because your illustrious governor decided to put us all out of business.
They should go there with picket signs.
Yeah.
And they cannot refuse the help because it was no fault of mine.
Right.
That's right. Government fault, too.
What tobacco juice am I buying? J. Jerry, all right, this is the thing. When I first started vaping, I did vape a juice that tasted very tobacco-ish. I probably like a lot of other vapors wanted to get away from the tobacco taste. I didn't want to taste cigarettes. So that's why most vapors really enjoy their flavors because they don't want to taste something that is similar to a cigarette. They want to move away from that. If they can vape something that tastes like strawberry or peach or grape or bubble gum or whatever, they would rather do that because if they move towards a tobacco juice, it reminds them of smoking and makes them want to go back to smoking. That's the whole reason I moved away from tobacco juices. Now, I don't mind having one on occasion. I'll vape something that has a tobacco flavor to it. Otherwise, I try to stay away from it. And I
Yeah,
agree
when
with
I
Wally. Bill, yeah, Nilla Nuts has been like my all-day vape for years and
Well,
years. And
that's the
when I
thing
was
here again with DIY. Sorry, RS. You can buy a tobacco vape and then add something to it.
oh
Right.
Like
yeah, definitely.
add cinnamon or ginger or brown sugar or something to sweeten it up. That's what
Right.
a lot of your R4Ys are is a blend of tobacco with something else.
Now,
Yeah.
when I was fully off of cigarettes and had quit for a year and a half, I believe it was, I did look up a whole tobacco alkaloid that had other things from cigarettes, from tobacco in it to help me keep off of cigarettes. And I purposely did find a Marlboro-like tobacco that was very good, but that company went out of business. So you can
Wow.
get it if
Even
you
darker.
really do like the taste
Yep.
of tobacco and you need that once in a while. I'm having a bad day. Do I
Right.
do cigarettes or do I do tobacco? Do yourself a favor. Get a tobacco flavored e-juice that you like.
All right.
Definitely.
Well, you're raising a very good point. That's something I'm thinking about. If all the distribution companies go out of business because 95% of their business is flavors, and all the people that sell e-liquid in these large corporations that sell it to the vape shops, right? And all the states ban flavors or they ban e-cigarettes, some of them, okay? How are the companies that distribute liquids going to be making tobacco if it doesn't sell? I mean, it might sell, but even if it doesn't, and I say it doesn't sell because the shops aren't even there to sell it. It's all going to be in C stores at that point. Then.
Kevin, I completely understand. Everybody loves, I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't mind vaping a tobacco juice every once in a while. I just don't, that's not like my all day vape because I
Right.
don't want to push myself back towards tobacco. But it is good every once in a while to have a nice, relaxing tobacco
Yeah.
vape that reminds you of a sweet cigar or something.
It's
Hey,
your
go.
crutch when you need that you're wanting a cigarette. It's your crutch.
You are
I
running.
think the flavor companies are not going to go anywhere because they're in the business of selling flavors. Not vaping is just a small portion of what
Oh
they
yeah.
actually sell.
It's like
Flavor.
I'm
4%.
not talking. I'm not talking about the flavoring companies. I'm not talking about just DIYing. But how are you going to fill the stores with tobacco flavors when the stores are closed? So let's say all the vape shops in Massachusetts close, right? So the only place you're going to be able to get tobacco flavored e-liquid is going to be from a C store that's still open because they sell other products. On top of the fact that, let's say, local vape in California can't sell the product, they go out of business because they can't. There's not enough people buying the product to fill
To fill
their
their overhead.
distribution center and their
Right.
overhead. So you're not only if you kill all the people who are making liquids before they can actually like transition to just making tobaccos, and then they have nobody to sell the tobaccos to except for the C stores. This whole thing goes up in, I hate to say it goes up in smoke.
Right.
It's bullcrap. I mean, they haven't gave any kind of regulations on like, okay, well, it's okay to sell tobacco flavored e-juice. Okay, but is it okay to have like apple flavored tobacco? I mean, it's still tobacco, but it
Well,
has
that's what
apple.
No, actually, in their mind, it won't be because the only flavored, quote unquote, actual combustible tobacco products are cigars, and they were exempted.
Oh yeah, all the previous bullcrap, cigars, cigarettes, cigarillos, whatever, are exempt. But Sloan Rager, congratulations, since only
Well,
a
that's because
couple.
they are considered B tobacco versus A tobacco, correct?
That's correct.
Isn't that changing a bit with the FDA deeming regs? Wasn't
They're
so,
looking at it. They haven't done anything
yeah,
with it yet.
cigars and pipe tobacco was mixed in that along with hookahs.
Right. Pipe tobacco and cigars, since they are fully tobacco and not a cigarette, were exempt.
Right,
Bill,
but
you're hilarious.
they can only be sold in cigar stores. They can't be sold in C stores.
What,
Complete with a
cigars?
kiddie pool.
No, flavored cigars.
Oh, okay, flavored.
You got to crank up that van down by the river. Get the lab going, Scoop.
Yeah, we're gonna have a whole black market van that me and Bill drive around, just selling black market vapes right off the back of the van. I
Miller
hope
Nuts
it
tobacco.
I hope it never gets to that point. I mean, the good thing about the juices that
Well, I want in. I want in because I've got the perfect company name. It'll say Vape Band. Okay.
vape ban.
And
Oh,
because that's my right. So we call it Vape Band, and we'll just drive around the country and we'll supply people.
there
with
you
liquids.
go. Well, the good thing about the recipes that Bill has, like even with Vanilla Please, that's just a base vanilla flavor. You could add whatever you want to that: strawberry, blueberry, blackberry, whatever you want, and it would still be an excellent juice. I really think that having a good base of juice like that, is it almost empty?
You know, Al, I've made that jump. I can't wait till the next
It's
series. You
empty
remember
now.
Vape? You remember
Sure,
Breaking Bad?
it's good. It's got
There's
a
going to be
sweet
a
Yes,
taste
that's
series,
to it.
exactly
Breaking
what's
Vape.
going to happen.
Breaking
It's going to be
Vape.
Breaking Bad. Yep.
We're, we're gonna make a ton of money and then we'll be cellmates. That'd be fun, Bill. Hey, we can vape in prison together, man. I'm down with that.
Well, my plan is if vaping gets banned here in Maryland, I'm going to put a still out in the backyard so I don't get arrested for vaping.
Oh my God. You know, RS, it's a shame that it's even come to this. You would think
I'm going to make a mod out of 45 guns.
If the government was
and
really
take that in the
interested in our
streets. That'll
health,
be neat.
that this would not even have been a problem at all.
Not an
because
issue.
yeah, if they were really worried about our health, then this would be like not even an issue whatsoever. It just shows you full right in your face that the government don't give a damn about you. They want your money. That's it. They want your money. Other than that, you're not doing any good for them.
I talked to my children the other day. I said to them, even my daughter today, I said, how are the children getting vaporizers into the schools? And the way they're getting, she says, well, the way they get them in the schools is they either put them in their bag and they put stuff around it, and they're usually carrying Stigs or Juuls, or they put it in their bra because none of the teachers can pat you down there.
Right.
Okay. But they also go through metal detectors in the public schools. So these metal detectors are not picking it up.
Yeah, they're not tuned high enough.
They're not tuned high enough. So the schools aren't doing anything, except for when the kid vapes in school, they get in trouble. They call their parents and they take away the device. You know?
Yeah, well, they don't want long lines of people waiting to get into school because it's
they already have it. You have to understand, these kids come to school with knives. They come to school with all sorts of paraphernalia.
Yeah, but they got the metal detectors so that it won't go off if you just got some change in your pocket or your keys or something of this nature.
I have decided that next week when I go to the school, and I'm going to go inside the school, I am bringing the most metalist mod with batteries, and I'm putting it in my pocket along with another mod in my pocket, which will be this one. And I'm going to get in that school. And when I do get in that school, I'm going right to the school, and I'm going to the heads of the school, and I'm going to tell them exactly what happened. And I'm going to video it if I can.
Hell yeah.
Because I think that it's just, I don't want my kids vaping. I don't want them to be around vaping in the schools. I don't want their friends vaping, and I don't want to see this happening over and over and over. It's absolutely disgusting.
I'll show you something. These were once banned on airplanes. They're no longer banned on airplanes, but they used to be. Okay? Just as a test, what I did, the foil keeps it from being detected.
Really?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Marlboro Lights. Damn, I haven't seen a pack of those in 8 years.
Why do you have a pack of Marlboro Lights?
Oh,
can't call them lights anymore. They're Marlboro Gold.
Sorry. Are you a dual user?
I am a dual user.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been vaping?
Let's see. This August, 5 years.
And you haven't been able to kick the habit?
For about a year and a half during those 5 years, yes.
Okay, but not now.
Not now. I live a very, very stressful life. I have a wife who is in late stage Alzheimer's.
Ugh.
RS, I'll give you credit, man. I know what you have to deal with on a daily basis. So, if you got to smoke one every once in a while, then that's what you got to do.
Yeah, today, for instance, I work at home on Wednesdays and Fridays, and I have help come in the house on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Today, I had to give Joyce 3 baths.
That's
3?
Cool,
Damn.
3. She's totally incontinent.
Don't forget your giveaway, Scoop.
I did the giveaway already.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I know y'all were talking, and I ran the giveaway. Sloan won the giveaway.
Oh, okay.
Well, Cassie, they used to be called lights. As a matter of fact, it used to be printed on the pack.
You got to message me your address, Scoop.
I do? Okay. Oh, I forgot about those. Yeah, the plates.
Yeah, send it in Facebook. We're friends.
Did you get those cups yet from Malachite? Did you get tracking on those yet?
No.
I still got the Provari. I'm waiting.
Malachite's going to be like, that son of a gun.
That's
Ken,
the one to bring to the school.
Hey, Ken, tell Malachite he better send them glasses out if he ever wants to see his Provari.
Yeah. wrap that Provari around some.
Fuck the Provari. Fuck the Provari.
Hey, Scuba. It's 9:45. Have you done the giveaway?
Really, RS?
He just said, yeah.
I don't know what RS.
We just did that.
RS, we were just talking about it. Hey, Al, you can't do that. I got I got one right here.
But I'm gonna go with 3 of them. I got 3 of them.
Mine's got my battery in it. I got
Al,
three.
you and me need to talk.
I don't know some of them work, some of them don't work. That's why I got parts. I got all the parts that
I
I switch them
understand
out.
that completely. Yeah, the staff of Agamemnon, that right there, when you vape that at a convention, people will move out of your way.
I can munchie.
Oh, all you hear when you're walking around with that is did you
What the
what was
hell was that
Can I-
thing, right?
and then if you stand there long enough, they're like, "Can I get a picture of that with you?"
Yeah.
You know, I went into Vaping in New York just in March, and a guy comes up to me from China and says, "Listen, you know, I know you make bands, and I would like to be your manufacturer for vape bands. Can I take a picture of you with that?"
One of these
I've had
days, I'm into canes and walking sticks and that sort of thing. One of these days, I'm going to drill out the top of a walking stick and have it be a vaping stick.
Oh, that would be cool, RS. You'd be like the pioneer of making a vape stick, vaping walk stick. That would be cool. I don't see why you couldn't, and you could actually make the whole stick like have as many batteries as you want, 4, 6, whatever. Run them in series, and it's going to be
12.
way more power than you'd ever need. But
My mod doesn't die for
oh,
30 days. I'm
I
running
hate
on
touching
12,
that staff
18,
because it makes your
650.
hands smell like ass.
Copper, yeah.
Oh, it's brass.
Not
and
copper, it's brass.
Yeah, it's brass, but it makes your hands smell so
Raising
bad.
camel.
Oh my God. It's so bad. A 50-pound walking stick. Well, Unicron, that's the good thing about the walking stick. It just make it more sturdy. You know, if it's got all them batteries down in there, it's going to be a strong walking stick, and it's just going to give you more balance anyway. Same reason I hate touching dog poop. Oh my goodness. Well,
Cassie, no,
Listen,
I haven't.
I have to say, I don't mind picking up dog poop in the winter.
Yeah.
It's temperature. It keeps it.
Well, my dog, and we have to do that here because we got a little park where the dog goes and poops. And I haven't had any problems, except
Getting
maybe
tobacco correct is very, very hard.
August
in
was a
any of
little
these.
difficult, but ever since then, my dog's been pooping and it picks right up. I don't have to smear it out of the grass or anything, which has been great. Yeah, this little mod, the little D barrel from Smock, has been a great mod for $19.88 plus shipping, which makes it like 23 bucks. It was a great deal. The battery life on this thing is excellent, and I haven't had any problems out of the battery life, so I'm gonna continue to use this thing.
Well, what do we take away from Scuba's show today?
A whole hell of a lot. I do plan on in the future, for the people that do want to consider DIY, we're going to get more into it. I want to break it down, show you the whole process of it, which if I'm going to do that, I want to show you the correct way because I don't want people going, well, Scuba didn't wear gloves when he made this. So I'm going to go through and it may take me a while because I'm broke as a joke. But, oh, you got gloves? So if I got some surgical gloves, then I can show y'all how to do it by milliliter and also how to do it by weight. Then y'all have a basic idea on how to make your own juices. And like I said, even with RS and Higgies selling concentrates, it makes it way easier. And Higgies will sell you pretty much any concentrate of juice
And
that they
you
make.
don't really need to have beakers or anything. If you go by weight, I mix it right up in the bottle.
There you go. Yeah. With concentrates, it makes it like way simple. So if you're in one of these banned states, you can order a concentrate, add your VG, your nicotine, you're done.
And by the way, if you get gloves, yes, the nylon gloves or nylon. I can't think of the word. The regular surgical gloves are fine. The better gloves are neoprene, and they're not that much more expensive.
Stay away from latex.
I've used the nitro.
Latex is okay.
Yeah.
The nitro is okay, but the nitro is better.
Yeah, the nitro's better. And Lowe's and Home Depot, you can buy 1,000 in a box for really cheap money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I hear Walmart's putting a whole kit together: gloves, VG, the whole works.
Walmart is?
I'm
Wow.
kidding. They should.
Oh,
They
I'm
should do
like,
it.
what? When did Walmart get involved?
Well,
Gee,
Walmart pulled all their e-cigarettes off the shelves. They
I
still
haven't
sell
been to
tobacco
Walmart in a
products.
while, so I couldn't tell you. I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, they pulled all of the because they're
Well,
bad for you.
their way, if they take it all off, then they don't have to worry about anybody coming over and saying you can't do that.
Right. Mm-mm-mm. It's a shame to see all this stuff going down. I remember the days when we go to a vape convention and you couldn't even move because it was so packed. It is not like that
Yeah,
anymore.
wait,
It is
now you ain't
just
going to
not.
see them anymore.
And it's a shame because
You can do them on Indian reservations.
the social aspect of it was the main thing. And
yeah,
if you
don't
got
just
more
get
people there, you
just
got,
don't get caught coming out of the Indian reservation.
yeah.
They did that with cigarettes.
I should do an actual real review on this because I haven't yet, and
Is
it's
that out
still.
yet?
I don't think it's out, and from what I understand, the SX Auto isn't coming out till like November, so this will
Right.
be the closest thing. Hopefully, this comes out before the SX Auto, but either one would be a great device because it's rebuildable. The other ones aren't, so I think that's a great option to have on these for an auto squonker. Or the X Class, either one. The X Class you can do a lot more with, obviously. You made a liter yesterday. There you go, for 36 pounds. It's surprising. You would be amazed. Like if you used to buying juice off the shelf, 30 mil bottle, 60 mil bottle, 100 mil bottle, and you make it yourself and then try to ration out the cost of you DIYing. Oh my God. It's like,
You can DIY a 120 mil bottle if you're not using a whole bunch of flavors, 2 flavors, for about $3.
yeah, there you go. If that, I mean, and that's probably including the cost of the bottle and the
Yep,
nipple and so,
I'm
because
including everything.
yeah, so at the most it would be $3. I would say around $1 if you already have the bottle and everything, maybe $1.
For the cost that I did actually break it all out. It was $2.79 per 120 mil on 2 flavors.
Oh, there you go. So you save a ton of money by doing DIY. And the only reason we even bring up DIY is because they're banning it in so many damn states. You won't be able to go buy juice. It's really good for you guys to have some type of tank that you can actually put your own coils in. Because I don't know how far this bans are going to go, but if they ban it where you can't even buy coils for your TFV8 or whatever, you need to have a tank like a RTA or RDA that you can actually make your own coils and put it in there. That way you don't have. Cassie, congratulations. Welcome to the Fatality family, by the way. Um, you need to have something to where you can actually build a coil, put it in there, and vape it, and not have to worry about changing out like this tank. This one, if I don't have coils for it, I'm screwed, which this is my last coil for this tank. So once it runs out, which is pretty much on its last leg, um, you can only buy 10 mil bottles of juice. Damn, Pat. Yeah, in the U.S., you can buy up to like 120 mils all day long on the shelves. Usually they sell. You don't even see as many 30 mils as you used to. Now it's usually 60 mils, 100 mils. Hey, Lethal, you missed a incredible show. We've went through everything tonight. I think, um, and it's only going to get better in the future. I really want to try to help people to get out of this whole ban funk because of the government's crap that they've thrown on us, and maybe we can get through this together because I think we will get past this. It may take a while, and it obviously is a day late and a dollar short on all of it because of the fact that it's just now being brought up in the news, so it's just now come to the forefront, and we're trying to push it back now, which is like, hey, why didn't blah blah blah, and they're not listening to a word we have to say because they have their own agenda about we need to make this amount of money, and whatever cause y'all are fighting for is not helping us make money, so we don't care. That's pretty much
Cassie,
the way they
the M25 is less prone to leaking than the regular one.
that, and I agree completely with RS. The M25 definitely is a lot less chance of it leaking than the regular fatality.
I am
Um,
so happy with this M25. You have no idea.
yeah, the M25, man, it
Yeah,
is a
can you
great tank. It
you
really is.
can't can you not take apart the airflow from, like, you can only take it down to the deck, right? You can't take
Right.
the
That
Yeah,
you
airflow.
you
can't
can't
take the
take the
airflow off.
airflow. Yeah. And the bottom
I would
airflow,
have to say that's the only thing that's the only downfall. You should
really.
be able to take it all apart so you can clean the inside of
Oh,
it.
so you can clean it. Okay. I was going to say, well, the bottom airflow is for the center airflow for the main one, and then the top airflow is for your side one. So adjust it
Right.
accordingly. I usually keep my bottom one a little more open than the
Yeah,
side one,
I do too.
just so that the middle is getting more airflow than the side one, and then I'm good to go. That's the
You
way I
can
always
change the
do it.
bottom ones
Yeah,
to
change the
be
bottom
half
one,
Yeah.
and
and
half.
then yeah, I do the bottom one like 3/4 open, and then the top one I do maybe half or a little less, and it's perfect like that.
Oh shit, they are both separate. So you said the
Yeah, they're
bottom one you
separate.
do at what? What do you
The
do with the
bottom
bottom
one I
one?
do about 3/4,
A little bit more
and
than the
then
top.
yeah, a little bit more than the top one. You want to turn the top one down a little bit more. And then as far as the juice flow goes, I keep literally maybe 3 millimeters open. That way, because what's going to happen is if you turn the juice flow all the way open on the M25, it's going to blow through juice, which if you have no problem with how much juice you use, fine, go for it. But if you
Holy
want to
shit,
try
what a
to,
difference.
yeah, it makes a big difference. So if you turn the juice flow down, it's
It actually
still going to
wicks
be,
better. It
yeah,
actually wicks better because you're tightening up the airflow. So when you suck on it, it's actually like doing some work.
I do
yeah,
know that with the
Shit, I learned
M25,
something new
if
today.
you take the screw, the 510 screw out,
hmm
you can remove the positive deck, of course. But
oh yeah,
I didn't look inside to see if it was Allen wrench so that you could take the whole bottom apart.
Dude, it tastes
You
better.
can't. The bottom airflow is press fit on.
oh that's perfect. I love. See, Cassie's just now getting the fatality experience. Cassie, it's like the best RTA on the market. I'm hoping that this GATA that I'm getting Monday, which I'm going to do a show. I don't give a damn. I know I do shows on Friday, but if I get the GATA in on Monday, I'm doing a show Monday night. I don't want to overstep lead pipe by any means. If I have to go earlier than lead pipe, that's what I'll do. But I really want to try the GATA in mouth to lung, and I really want to try it in direct lung to see if it really does comply with those two standards, because I've tried some that are so-called mouth to lung and they're really just a restricted direct lung. I want a tank that does mouth to lung, real mouth to lung, like K-Fun. Way back in the day when K-Fun was mouth to lung and that's all you got, and there was no damn direct lung. And then I want a direct lung tank that gives me really good airflow and really good flavor and big clouds. But I also like the mouth to lung because mouth to lung, even though a lot of people have moved away from mouth to lung is a great way to get a really good throat hit, high milligram. You're not trying to blow a big cloud. You just want that really awesome flavor and just a good, quiet, solid vape. That's what the mouth to lung is about.
And Pat has a good point. When you get into DIY, yes, there will be one or two juices that are not vapable that you make, but for the most part, you will make juices that are better than what you can buy because you're putting in what you want in it and what you like in it, and you're putting them in the proportions that you like.
And you know exactly what's in that juice. There's no question about what's in it. If you're making your own juice, you know exactly what's in there. It's not like, well, it tastes like grape, but I don't know what's making that grape. No, you know exactly what's in that juice. When you DIY, it gives yourself, not only you feel good because you made a juice that tastes good and vapes good for you, but you also know exactly what's in there. So when people come up to you, go, hey, what is this? It's like, it's a juice I made. It's my flavor. Blah 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 blah
Right.
blah. It makes you
Ask
feel good.
ask Cassie about kiwi champagne. I'm just waiting for her reaction.
DeMillen's got it. DeMillen, if y'all go look on eJuice recipes or eliquidrecipes.com, DeMillen has a long list of juices that she's made, and there's some really good recipes on there. I highly recommend going to do that. Um,
Lime, that's right. Sorry.
you should be able to find something on there that you like. Definitely. Oh, damn, our time is up. Really? Our time's up. Not that we're based off time. They sent my GATA over FedEx, and FedEx apparently don't deliver over the damn weekend, so I have to wait till Monday to get it. So that kind of
I haven't,
sucks.
Cassie, but yes, tomorrow morning, I promise.
Now, Wally, you bring up a good point. You say how much champagne to add. Now, different different flavors of juice, like say for instance, cookie. Cookie is a very very strong flavor. That one you want to keep at a very low percentage. Different flavors of juices require different percentages to add to whatever flavor. So if you're using cookie as opposed to strawberry you may use more of that flavoring to get the strawberry taste you want. If you put the same amount of cookie as you do strawberry,
It'll overpower the
it's going to
strawberry.
be way too much. Way too much. So it really is a kind of hit miss bargain on, and
Well,
you'll learn really fast.
one thing I advise when you're first starting to DIY is make single flavor juices. That way you get used to what the strength of that particular flavor is. Then you have a knowledge of this flavor is stronger than that flavor. Therefore, I need more of that flavor than this flavor.
Yeah, and
What's
make small batches. Make a 10 milliliter bottle.
Yep.
That way you can taste it, see how good it is, and if it needs steeping, fine. But if it you know that it's way overpowered, you have the opportunity to adjust that recipe before you start making big batches. You don't want to start off making a 500 ml bottle of something that tastes like crap. So, um,
Yeah, e-liquid calculator has an excellent little thing where you can punch in, like if you're using Capella's sugar cookie or something,
right.
you can look that up in e-liquid calculator and it'll tell you a range of percentages that people use to make their liquids with that flavor.
There you go. J. Jerry, mouth to lung. I'm not a big mouth to lung guy, but I always enjoyed it when I did do it. I remember it on the Billow and the K Fun and the Orchid. I really enjoyed that. Um, for me, when I did the mouth to lung, I always had to have a really strong flavor to make sure that I got the maximum flavor and vapor production out of whatever flavor it was. So back when I did mouth to lung, it was a lot of cinnamon red hot, because cinnamon red hot, it don't give a damn if you're direct lung, mouth to lung, you're gonna get that flavor. It's freaking strong. That stuff is strong. So you can vape that on
Oh wow,
anything
that
and
reminds
taste
me.
it.
I have a 30 ml bottle of cinnamon 18,
Also, different
There you go.
companies. If you're getting flavoring from a
and it's
European
not good for
company,
you.
if you're getting flavoring from a European company, it's going to be stronger than the equivalent flavor from an American company.
All right, guys, we're going to bump off of here. I appreciate everybody coming out. Y'all have an excellent weekend. Y'all vape safe, vape on, and hopefully vape bans doesn't come up in your state with it over the week. I don't think they'll do anything over the weekend, so you're safe till Monday. But it's sad to see how it's happening, and all the states are following suit. I knew that this was going to happen, but I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, I told you I knew. Not going to do that. But I,
Have a great time, everybody.
yeah, y'all have a great weekend. We will catch y'all next week, same bat time, same bat flavor. Actually, I may be on, like I said, maybe Monday if that GATA comes in. I'll be on then to let y'all know how I like it. Same bat flavor? Yeah, same bat flavor. There you go. Y'all have a great weekend. Peace out.